So that's what I'm having for breakfast, and cauliflower juice. Well, it may look like a glass of milk, and then you're thinking, oh, well, I've heard of golden milk that people drink with the coconut. No, that's not that either. That's cauliflower. So, and James is having cauliflower also. Now, he's also having the broccoli. I cooked that because I needed the quinoa for a recipe later on. So I cooked plenty of quinoa, and I'm just having that for breakfast. And I also gave James a few raisins that have been plumped up. I cooked those in the steamer over top of the quinoa with the broccoli. So the broccoli is going to taste nice and sweet. But I'm using the raisins, the plumped raisins, for another dish also. So, which I suppose I can show you later on. So anyway, he's having omelet with chives in it and some red pepper sliced up on top. And I'll show you. Oops. So what I cooked the quinoa with is this. And I would never have bought it, but it was given to me and I'm very thankful. Oh, and this knee is really bad today. See, what I was doing is I was, the past couple days, I just wore jeans just for a little while. And they were a thin kind of fabric of jeans. And I thought, you know, I'm going to get away with it because I've been feeling pretty good lately. And no, I can't wear jeans. So anyway, knee's really bad. And usually it's my back that's really bad. So I'm surprised, you know, from wearing the jeans. But see, my knee, I could sense that it wasn't doing as well for the past few years. And so I was careful with it. But then I went to see about getting back surgery, and they put me through some stretching stuff and whatever, and I possibly should have said, you know, I've been having trouble with my knee, so maybe keep that in mind when you're coming up with these things you want me to do. Anyway, but I didn't mention that. So maybe that's a little bit my fault. But they didn't ask. Anyway. Broccoli good cooked with raisins. So anyway, after that, wow, my knee, both of the knees were sore. But this one was rolling to the side. And I was like, oh, that's bad. So I went to my family doctor and she gave it a feel and thought, yeah, no permanent damage, so we'll see. So I went to physio, and some of the things were making it way worse. Some of the things that he had me doing. And so anyway, I played it by ear, and I'm not doing those exercises anymore. But some of the exercises that he gave are helping, or at least not making things worse. So, anyway, but I think it was the jeans. I don't think I should have been wearing the jeans, and I feel really like going up just a few stairs is hard today, and I feel a bit nauseated. I don't want to drink this juice because I already feel bad from the pain. So bad. Anyway. Oh, so bad. But cauliflower juice is very good for me, and the pulp is awesome in recipes. as I've been showing you if you watch the videos. Wow, that's bad. But the first thing I noticed when looking at recipes for cauliflower crust pizza, because it became a popular thing for people health conscious to convert their pizza crust to cauliflower crust, which is pretty smart. But so I started looking into recipes, and how I do it really is like I'll get recipe books from the library, but I'll go online and I'll just look through a few and I'll be like, okay, well, I'll try this, or I'll combine these ideas or whatever, right? Definitely try the broccoli cooked with the raisins. That's really good. So anyway, what I noticed about the cauliflower crust pizza is a lot of the time in the recipes they all say, you know, grind it up in the food processor and then pat it dry, and I'm like, pat it dry? So you're like getting rid of all your nutrients into the paper towel or whatever you're using to pat it dry with, and it just seems silly. Why not juice your cauliflower? You end up with the pulp, and that works out really great in cauliflower crust pizza. And I think that's what people normally do. And the whole coming up with the recipes, well, that's just a little bit deceptive way of showing people, oh, look, this is a healthier. Really, what's healthy is juicing your cauliflower, and I know it tastes terrible. I'm not trying to tell you it doesn't. I'm showing you, yeah, this just about makes me gag. But you know it's healthy. And you know you like using the pulp for recipes. Because honestly, if you're buying cauliflower crust pizza from somebody, they're probably using pulp. And you should know that. Start cooking and you realize things. You start realizing, oh wait, tomato pulp, that works well in whatever, right? And so you think, oh, this is probably what's been fed to us all along. I normally hate broccoli. Definitely cook it with raisins. This is so good. Anyway, I'm having a hard time giving my little talk rather than eating, but James isn't here yet, so I figure I can wait a little while. I don't know where he is. I gave him the call. Show up, he doesn't, whatever. But like this, why I mentioned I wouldn't buy this, if you know, why buy this, is sure, it's the ingredients, it's organic, and one, it's instant. I don't need something instant like this. This is not very many ingredients in here, which I guess that's probably a better thing than having a whole ton that you don't know the names of. But I mean, the first ingredient's water, and then tomato paste, and then tomatoes, and then dehydrated vegetables. And honestly, you know, spices and herbs. When I look at these kinds of ingredients, what I'm thinking is, when I dehydrate vegetables and fruit after juicing them. So when I see dehydrated, I'm wondering, oh, is that just pulp essentially, right? Because I know that if I say I made a bunch of cauliflower pulp this morning, and a lot of it just looks like, if I dried that out and stuck that in with a bunch of different spices and things to make, say, a cauliflower soup with. So I could use, say, skim milk powder or something like that, or if soy milk powder, if I wanted to, whichever. And I could come up with a instant cauliflower soup in a jar or in a whatever, and nobody would know the difference. Once it, you know, you put the water into it and it's essentially been dehydrated with the juicer, and then you just put water in it and you think, oh wow, looks like cream and cauliflower soup. So honestly, I bet that's what a lot of the food industry has been feeding a lot of people. It just makes sense to me. So, I mean, anyway. And maybe there's a few people looking at this right now who are thinking, oh, well, I want to go health conscious, and I realize I'm going to have a whole lot of pulp left over from my juicer. May as well open up a restaurant, whatever, along with everyone else, and along with, because I'm sure everyone's doing it. And I guess if you don't care about the health of other people, you only care about the health of yourself or your family. I forgot I was going to wait for James because that's so good. Anyway, this book, it's not that I'm tired, it's that I'm in pain, and it's really distracting. Bancroft, what is this? This must be a season 1, because honestly, it's left where it doesn't say season 1. But anyway, it's left at an ending where you're like, oh, I want to see more. And they have, okay, it's a British crime series, which normally I'm like, whatever. I like this one. Now, the acting isn't great. It doesn't really have to be. And because the story is good enough. So it's different than any British crime series that I've seen so far. So this woman has amazing eyes. The young blonde detective, she's new. And she has blue eyes which glow. I don't know if they've enhanced those or if she just naturally was born with such eyes. They're amazing. I mean, you can see them from across the universe. They glow that strong. So anyway, and they often have her wearing blue just to really pump those things up. They look fantastic. And she can't act. She was not hired for acting. Her eyes are amazing, and that's enough. I mean, it's a British crime series. Do you really need good acting? I don't know. I don't think so. You're accustomed to not getting good acting in crime series. So, you have this young detective, and you have this older one. And this young one she's kind of been put aside to work a cold case. Work cold cases, but one in particular, which this woman had investigated a long time ago. And it ends up getting really interesting. So I don't know what'll happen. They should have another season of it, because I'm sure everyone would like to see where this goes. It's certainly very interesting. So I'm looking forward to another season of that. Let's see, when was this? 2017. This was put out 2019. You know what? I'm not sure exactly. Sometimes I don't know how to read these cases. So anyway, I'll keep an eye out for that. So Zoltan Szabo's 70 favorite watercolor techniques. Now this artist, he's not really that good, but he does give a basic idea of how to do things, and so I think I can actually learn from this book. There's some of okay, like the rocks, the page 60-61. I think I could figure out how to do this, so I'm gonna try. And what I found interesting is it never occurred to me, this is watercolor techniques, and he's using a palette knife. I didn't know you could do that with watercolor. So anyway, I'm gonna try it. I found that very interesting. There's a few things that I bookmarked in here to try. The shadows on the snow, that's awesome. So what he does, this is page 64-65, and I have seen these things, and I didn't really know how to use them. I used my little bristle scrubber filled with clean water and loosened the pigment in just small area at a time. And So I've seen those, and I didn't know what to do with them, but now I'm going to try it out. I think I have one in my collection that I bought from a thrift store, thinking, what do I do with this little thing? Sunlight on wood, page 76. Looks awesome. And ice on trees. I didn't like the frost on the trees one, but ice on trees, page 84. That looks like hoarfrost. It looks awesome. So if you want to know how to do that, looks good. And I think he describes it well enough in this book that you could actually, like, I feel like I could follow the instructions in this book. So it might not work out. Palette knife trees. He does birch trees. You know how you have the bark that's peely. Looks perfect. And he's doing that with a palette knife. So, oh, that's page 97. Looks awesome. And Icy Creek, he gives some demonstrations at the back of the book that are a little more, you know, step by step, right? Rather than just explaining a few details of it. So Icy Creek demonstration number 2, glazing and lifting, page 106, and this continues on 109. And awesome. And then the shadows on the wood, he gives a bigger detail of that on page 110 to, oh, that's not very long, 111. And then I didn't like that one. Fallen timber is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. I like the waterfall that he got out of it. It's pretty basic looking, but sometimes that's all you really need. So page 116 to 117. I don't like that one. Forest Rapids, again, I like hiking. So if I'm going to paint memories, it's going to be things like trees and people and water, and I'm not very good at that. So I'm a lot better at people now, but just the people that I know. Anyway, so demonstration number 9, Forest Rapids, 122, 123, and then the daffodils. I don't like daffodils, but he made them look very attractive to me. James loves daffodils, so I put some in his yard. Anyway, this is demonstration 13. This is page 132, 133. And, oh, I suppose I can show you how that ended up. And then I'll eat my food. Never jeans again.